relationship with Claude in a sense to help elevate your work and your business. Alright, so what Claude can do for you. One of its biggest strengths is writing and polishing. Compared to ChatGPT, it's much better at creating human-like writing. And the biggest thing that makes it even better is that you feed it some real examples of your writing, and it actually learns how you write. It learns, and then there's some specific prompts you can give it that actually make it be like, I don't want you to write in this AI tone, I don't want you to use M dashes, things like that. So not only can you make it sound human, you can also modify it to sound quite like you. And that's a big thing and one of its strengths. As well as summarizing, like I said, it's great at summarizing long documents, but obviously if you're working on confidential enterprise documents, you don't want to be putting that in, because that is a security risk and it could send it to the model providers that you don't want to have that type of liability on your hands. And then brainstorming, this is also one of its biggest strengths. The biggest thing with getting into AI is that most people feel overwhelmed in a sense, that it's, how do I use this? This tool pops out today, the next tool pops out tomorrow. And the biggest thing is that literally just sit down with the model and tell it, hey, this is exactly my problem. This is how I want you to help me, and what do we need to do to solve this? From there, that's where you start, and then you go from there. Explaining as well, yeah, it can make any topic simply. And then another thing it's great at is analyzing data. You can give it large data sets, say, hey, what are the trends? What are some anomalies? And the biggest thing is that you also tell it, I don't want you to hallucinate, and if you give me a figure, it has to be from the text. And that's a big way to make it stop giving you false data. All right, co-work. So, co-work, you might ask, how is co-work different from regular Claude chat, and how is that different from regular Claude code? And the biggest thing is that, if I could define it simply, Claude chat is you talk to it, it gives you back a response. Claude co-work is that it actually works on your files, it's actually able to work on your computer, and it can do real things and take real actions for you on Google Chrome, for example. And then Claude code, I mean, it sounds like what it does, it codes for you, and yes. So how co-work gets things done. So you set your goal, like I touched on earlier. Let's say you want to set up a workflow on how do I connect this in my business, or how do I make it so that it gives me a scheduled outreach every single day that I can use. So you set the goal, then you and Claude work through a plan. After you improve the plan, you approve it, and then Claude works and you get the deliverable. So I'll give you a live example of how I've used this. On my business, for example, a big thing about finding clients is that I struggle to find leads, and it's quite time intensive. So what I tell Claude is, hey, every single night, I want you to run a scheduled run where you will go on the internet, you will match clients against my actual customer document, against the people that I want to find, and then in the morning, I want to get a high quality of leads, at least 5 leads that match my business, 9 out of 10, and I want you to also find me their emails. So all I have to do is wake up, see the document you've produced me, and all I do is send you the email that Claude produced. That saves me a lot of time and helps me focus on the things that's actually important. And the big thing about trust and safety. You've probably heard the horror stories about people who mistakenly deleted everything on their laptop using these tools. And the biggest thing is that you can actually tell it the amount of access you want it to have. So it only has a specific amount of access to some tools. If it wants to do a destructive action, it always asks, can I go ahead with this? So that's a big way to keep it safe and not destroy anything. And an actual example of something that I've built is with Claude Code, is that basically I had so much work between school, outside, working on my business, between sports, between piano. I was just thinking, it's just too much work to keep in my head. And imagine if I could have a tool that is able to clearly sort out all of this data, is able to keep me on track, and is able to actually learn from what I do best and help me improve on that. So I went to Claude, I told it that was my exact goal. We set out a plan, we created the tool, and that is a rough, I can give a quick demo. So this is a tool. Basically what it does is, well, we have an overview. I have quests. I can basically set out what do I want to do for the day and what do I want to achieve from that. Same thing with habits and my goals. I can set out, let's say I want to study for an hour every day. I can put that in, I can track it, and then I get XP points in a way to make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where is it? Forge is one of my favorite features. So something that I've noticed is that with AI, if I'm being honest, my ability to write has gotten a bit worse because I rely on it too much. So I was thinking, imagine if I could have a tool that I could basically have it give me words that I could learn, and then it would produce that like document for me. I learn the words, it grades me on it, and it slowly gets smarter and helps me learn those new words every single day. So that's another practical application of how I use it. Yeah, one more. So I'm preparing for taking the SAT. So instead of just having to read those boring 500-page textbooks, I was thinking, imagine if I could make an interactive way that actually gives me prompts that are basically calibrated to my level and helps me learn from this and get smarter as I go. So that's what an SAT feature that I built is for. And yeah, so that's an overview of that project. Then Decision Intel is, this is the main business that I'm working on. And the biggest thing that I was thinking is, why do corporations consistently lose billions of dollars every year in bad deals? And so the solution is that the data was never the issue. That everyone already had enough data, but the problem was in really working on the reasoning behind the data. How did we come to these conclusions, and what could this lead to down the line? So that's my main thing that I'm working on at the moment. And like I said, I have a full, so I can pull it up, full workflow every single night. It finds me leads, it finds me a person that I can reach out to there. It fully personalizes the email to them. So all I have to do is find their email and send them this prompt that it already gave me. And that happens every single night like clockwork. And where this fits in your week. So there are quite a few things you could do with it. You could help it schedule your calendar, you could help it research, you can help it, or it can work with you on finance, on marketing, and even if you're the founder as well. And the biggest thing is you have to stop treating it as you have to see it as a tool that you can use, in the sense that all it does is speed up your work, and you can have, let's say, 3 agents running one on your business, running one on, you can literally have it go out and search, let's say, successful content. It can pull that in for you. It can map it onto your business, how you can apply that to your business. It can then draft that for you. So all you do is it gives you all of that data. Then all you do is you give the go ahead that, hey, I want this tweaked, I want that tweaked, and then it slowly learns how you truly work and the content you like, and then it gets smarter every single day, so that you're not wasting time on the repetitive tasks that you could be spending elsewhere. Yes, and the biggest thing is, like I said, the inertia of getting started. It's, oh, it can do all of this, it can do all of that, I don't know where to start. Literally where you start is you tell it your goal, and you ask it, how can it help you get there? And with my analogy earlier about the blinded intern, is that if you want to get good results, you need to be specific. You need to give it context relevant to what you're doing. You can't ask it to create you a content strategy, but you don't give it your historical data, you don't give it what it works well, because then again, it won't be personalized to you. And then like I said, you refine with follow-ups every single time. You maybe see something you don't like, you say, hey, this is why I don't like it, can you improve it? And then it remembers that in the future. And this week, let's say that you just want to try it out. I'll give you 3 challenges. Let's say you have a document you've been putting off work because it's 100 pages, and let's be real, you don't want to read through all of that. You could ask it, I want you to summarize this document for me, and I want you to actually give me excerpts from the document to ensure you don't actually hallucinate anything and give me false data. Same thing, you can draft what you've delayed. And it also works great on organizing your files. Let's say you have a business folder, everything is scattered around there. You could say, hey Claude, I want you to access my files and I want you to sort everything in a specific manner. And that saves you a lot of time as well. And so, you don't need to be an engineer, you don't need to be a professional. All you need to be is willing to start. And to prove to you just how good Claude is, I created this presentation in about 2 minutes right before I started. And yeah, it also, alright, this is a prompt cheat sheet on what you can actually use it, on how you can actually use it. So, the recipe for a great prompt. You need to give it context, the relevant details, you need to give it a goal, and you need to give it the format that you want it in. So here are some examples of what you could do with it. You could say, actually let me backtrack a second. So relating to context, what you need to do is there's something called a Claude MD file, and what it does is it holds all of your data that Claude is able to read and access every session. So literally you go into Claude and you tell it, hey, I want you to help me create a Claude MD file. Ask me any of the relevant questions you need to know about my company and about myself, so you actually remember this going forward. That's what you tell it. It creates it for you. And then what you can actually do is you can tell it, I want you to auto-update your context every time I give you something useful. So you're not going back saying, I need you to remember this, why did you forget that? It does it automatically, and every single time you come to it, it already knows what you need. And yeah, I think that sums it up. So does anyone have any questions?
Just thank you so much. That was such a good presentation. Just really quickly, we basically completed that activity of teaching Claude about us and the About Me task today. So to give it the task of auto-updating, do we need to just mention it in a chat once and say just auto-update the About Me file every time?
Yeah, pretty much. And there's also I can show you, there's a setting in Claude that you literally tell it, I want you to learn from every chat. Here. So these two, you want to make sure that these are on.
Okay, that's
so that it automatically searches and generates memory from your chat history, so it always remembers everything. Yep. Alright. Any more questions?
Where is that in Claude settings?
Capabilities.
Okay, capabilities. Okay, search and reference chats. That too, right? Both of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Let's say you've been using ChatGPT up until this point, and you want to switch to Claude, and you don't just want to do a cold start. You can literally go to ChatGPT, tell it, give me a detailed summary about every single thing you know about me. I want to give this to another AI model so I can start using it. And then it basically, like I said, it summarizes every single thing it knows about you. You put it into Claude, and then it saves that, and you start with it already knowing you from the beginning.
What's the prompt again for ChatGPT?
Yeah, so, I mean, it literally gives you one here. Like, you literally click on Start Import.
Oh, okay.
It gives you the prompt, or you could literally tell ChatGPT yourself that I want you to export everything you know about me so I can move providers.
I have a question. So if I have several different platforms where I create content, right, and some do really well, the engagement, some don't. Is there a way I can use Claude to review the analytics from that and feed it all in and kind of say, give me a pattern, help me figure out what works and all of that? And would you do that?
Yeah, so that's a great point. It's something that I didn't touch on that much today. But Claude Cowork, one of its biggest strengths is that it actually has over like 200 connectors that you can connect it to literally all of your most important things. Like I can literally, I'll show you some of the examples. Yep. So over here, this is one of the strongest features that Claude Cowork actually has. So I'll give some practical run-throughs of some things it can actually do. You can connect it to your Google Drive, your Gmail, and your Google Calendar. What it can do for you, it can sort out all of your files. It can pull a file from your Google Drive and be like, hey, did you see this? Or have you noticed this really? And then another thing with Gmail is that you can actually have it draft emails directly in Gmail. So all you need to do is go to Gmail, it already has the email there, and you just click send. Same thing with your calendar, it's able to access your calendar, it's able to add things to your calendar. So those are 3 examples of what it can do. Additionally, I'm quite sure that, I think it's HubSpot. I'm not that into content, but there are some connectors that you can give it that it's actually able to analyze your content. It shows you what content did well, which ones didn't do well, and how can you actually build on the ones that did well so that you make content that's more tailored to that in the future. And it's all able to do that by pulling live and accurate data from all of these connectors. So that's also a big feature about Claude Cowork. Yep.
So when you're connecting, let's say Figma or Canva or any other design tool, so the tokens that are used in Claude are just going to be text related, right?
Yeah, but mainly, Claude is mainly good at text, but it can also create like interactive dashboards. Like for example, the presentation I just made, that was Claude. And I'll also give you a tool. There's a tool called Google, I think it's Stitch. It's really
Stitch.
good.
It's
Yeah.
called Stitch.
For design, yeah?
Yeah, it's really good at design. I have heard that Claude Design came out recently. I haven't tried that, but I will.
I think your question was about usage limits, right?
Yeah, the usage limit.
Yeah, so I think, correct, and tell me if you disagree, but
Yeah.
when you connect multiple tools to Claude and you start to use Claude with those tools, it's going to use your usage to interact and work with those tools. So every time, so let's say you connect your email, your HubSpot, the social media analytics tool, and you ask it to run a prompt that basically calls all of those tools. It's going to use your usage more quickly than if you just did something that didn't call any tools.
Yeah, I think that was the answer I was looking for, because you know that if it's going through each of all the usage quickly,
It
then
will.
it's,
It will.
Yeah. So I mean that is a big thing about it. And then with the models, there's Haiku. It's quite, I wouldn't really recommend using it for anything except you need, literally it should just find one number for you, but it's not that accurate. Sonnet is your best daily, and then Opus is when you're doing reasoning heavy tasks. And then Fable is a new one that just came out. It's really, really expensive, and it's actually getting banned, or it's going back under like security review in a few days. So that's like if you're doing some absolutely like you need the best model, then use it, but beware it's gonna like finish your usage in a very short amount of time.
I think there's a promo on it for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally haven't noticed like a massive lift in the difference between that and Opus to justify it. Although I did build everything today in Fable.
Okay, I've got it.
Yeah.
I found the sales tool really interesting. How do you go from, I just want to understand how you go from writing a prompt saying help be my sales lead for this startup and find me people, you know, in C-suite who are decision makers on marketing or whatever, and then highlight the 10 in the shortlist every day and give me their emails. Like how does Cowork go and do that? Like does it need LinkedIn access? Do you use another tool?
Yep, so I mean there are multiple ways to do it. The way I do it is I use Google Chrome. So I literally, first thing I created an ICP, what is my ideal customer profile?
Yeah.
I fed that to Claude, I said every night, this is the goal, I want you to find me these leads, qualify it against the ICP, and then surface them to me every single night. That's one way to do it. The better way is that there are actually specialized tools that can actually go out and find you the specific leads, including your number and email, and you can connect that to Claude, but it is a bit more expensive and token intensive to use.
Is that Rocket Reach or is it another tool?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that because like just Google Chrome is working great for me at the moment.
So, and Google Chrome is just like scraping the internet for these people. It's based on blogs or podcasts, company pages. Okay, it must be hard to get their emails though, no, just on Chrome.
Yeah, but then what it does is it gives me their names, so I can literally just go to LinkedIn and just message them that way.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Sometimes it gives you the format for the company, so even if you don't have the email necessarily, it will tell you that, you know, these are going normally first name dot last name.
Yeah, and there's this great tool
And
called
this is very
Rocket Reach. If you guys need to find emails or contact details for sales leads, you just put in their public LinkedIn profile, and then you get, you've used it, and anyone in sales probably uses it. It's quite expensive, but I guess it's worth doing. And now there seems to be a lot of AI tools that you could just plug in, and it does a lot of the sales outreach.
If I want to connect my Google Drive, but I don't want him to look at all my personal photos. I don't want him to look at any of my personal photos.
Yeah, I think that what you can do is you can set up a specific folder and be like, I want you to look in this specific folder for anything relevant, but don't access this other folder, for example.
Can I trust him?
For the most part, I think yes. Like Claude I'll actually share a study with you. There was basically this AI study that they put all of the different models in an artificial world, and basically every single other model like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, they all killed themselves, and Claude was the only one that actually survived for like the full 30 days. So it's the safest model in the way that it actually respects your boundaries.
Even if I click on that connector, the Google Drive connector, as long as I tell him don't access my photos.
Yeah, I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's getting there.
Maybe delete all of those old photos. I was young once.
But in another prompt it said,
it
forget what I am talking with you last time, and it's just...
I don't know if it's really forgotten, because when you chat with it, it will tell you things like you already. So unless you go and even delete the memory,
That's true.
it doesn't really work.
Yeah, so I think it's...
Use it at your own, but I don't.
Also, any questions from... I want to ask about tools you're using, AI tools, because your mum last week told me about Town AI that you had shared with her. So is there could you maybe tell the group about Town AI and anything else you're using?
So Town AI actually got referred to it by, there's this VC that I was talking to, and he told me that it's a really good tool. So basically what Town AI does is it's actually able to read first off, it knows everything about you, so it knows all of your contacts, and then it's able to read it accesses your Drive, your calendar, and your Gmail, and it's basically able to see you have a meeting with this person, it does research on them, it does research on you, it knows why you booked the meeting, it basically gives you, hey, this is exactly what you need to talk about before the meeting goes forward, and even some tasks that you might have for that day, it literally gives you every single day, it sends it to your Gmail, this is the work you need to work on today. These are the meetings you have scheduled, and this is exactly all of the context that is relevant that you should know beforehand. So it's just a great way to save time and actually be prepared, really.
And it categorizes your emails, doesn't it, as well?
No, it doesn't really categorize them, but it's just it's just able to access them.
Okay.
Tell them about Whisper.
Yeah, Whisper Flow. The biggest thing is with AI, like I said, context. Context is king, and the biggest thing with typing is that it's a bit unnatural, that you're just much more effective at communicating when you actually use your voice. So Whisper Flow, it's just it's a voice transcription tool that you just talk and it just pastes it into text. So it's just a way to, like, you speak twice as quick, I think, as you type. So number one, that's a great way to get more information out. And for example, if you're trying to, like I said, do some work with Claude Cowork, you literally just turn on Whisper Flow, you literally speak, give it the entire context, what you're doing right now, what you're struggling with, what you want it to help you. Only one prompt, and it sorts out all of that information and gives you the action plan that you can start working on right then. Yeah.
You have it set up, right?
Yeah.
So, do you want to show us?
Yeah, literally. You just go here. are you today? I'm doing fine, thank you. Yeah. So it's really quick. Like compared to typing, literally 2 to 3 times. It's literally 2 to 3 times as quick. And it also has I think it's 20-minute window, so you can literally keep talking for 20 minutes versus other ones like iOS or ChatGPT that might cut you off for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it works not so good if it's not English, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing with voice transcription tools. They're not that accurate yet, but they are like rapidly improving. Yeah.
Sorry, how did you connect it? Is it a connector?
It's an app.
It's a third party app.
Yes.
So how did you connect it to Claude?
So basically, it's not connected to Claude. It's always there, like literally on any different. It's always there. So it's an app. Like it's open right now. And then the useful thing about it is that it actually gives you insights into how you talk, your words per minute, how many words you dictate, how much you use it. So that's really useful, and that's really its main benefit over something like just a regular in-app transcription. Then how you use it is you literally go to any text box, you press the button, it tells you what that button is, and then you talk, and then you paste it, and it just works like that.
I love Whisper Flow because it's actually like a level beyond just it's not just exactly what you said down, like it'll slightly edit it to make it better, or like, and if you use proper nouns, it actually gets it right a lot of the time, which I was quite impressed by. So even on the free tier, if you want to try it, it's quite good, but I think it's like maybe 6-minute increments on the free tier or something.
And how much?
Who wants to fight for a referral code?
Yeah.
Should pay for the Pro?
The Pro,
Have you got
15 a
one?
month.
Do you have a referral code? Let's add it to our group. Do you just have one?
Yeah, I've got one, but
You get 2 weeks free at the start, and then you get another 2 weeks free if you start a team. And then like
try to
for
cancel.
students, for students, I mean it's 50% off, so I'm only paying $7.50 a month. But I mean the value you get out of it is a lot more than what you're paying, I would say.
Is it storing your voice somewhere?
Yeah.
That's why.
Then you can turn it off. You can turn it off. You can turn it off. You can have it so that it doesn't use the server.
Yeah.
It's a little less accurate.
I mean, the good thing is that they have an enterprise plan as well that has SOC compliance. So basically, if you can convince your business to buy Whisper Flow, then it actually doesn't store any of your data, and it's still like the highest quality output as well. Yeah. So I mean, to conclude, the biggest thing is literally just start, because starting is the hardest part with actually getting confident with AI, I would say. So literally, if you have a goal today, literally just go to it and say, I want to do this for this reason, and just start. That's the biggest thing I can say.
Just one more question around Max, Pro, Free. What's the difference you found?
Like with the models?
Yeah, when is it worth upgrading to Max?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it all scales with your output. So the thing is that with AI, you can literally use it to leverage your time. If you're using it effectively, it could be saving you 3-4 hours a day. And if you're paying £180 a month, but it's saving you 50 hours a month, and you're actually getting higher quality outputs, and you're actually able to focus on what's more important in your work, then I would say it's important, and it's worth it. I mean, if you know how to use it right, so that you actually get the most value out of it. So yeah,
I think if you're hitting your usage limit on the Pro version, like several times a week or several times a day, you might want to consider upgrading.
Because there is no quality difference, no? It's just
you just get
more usage.
That's what I upgraded.
Well, I don't know. I think on the Pro you don't have access to Fable right now.
No, you do. You do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
is there a way to have Claude analyze your usage?
That's good.
Like use Claude to analyze your Claude usage
Probably.
to make it more efficient, because there's like better ways, kind of like the tips you gave, but like
So yes.
using that as a framework and saying how can I where am I deriving more?
You can, like if you have recurring tasks, that probably makes sense, because then you can ask it to make those tasks more efficient. If you're running one-off tasks, like you're building a presentation and you're doing a piece of output, maybe what you could do is ask it to do it in the most efficient. You can ask it, try, I want you to do this task in the most efficient way possible, with the least amount of tokens needed to get the job done. But there'll be a trade-off, right? In terms of the quality and the speed with which it does it, maybe.
Yeah, I have something to add because I used recently, I recently came into this thing. So first I created some research document, something, based on my work or report. And then I asked in the next session, okay, think as a principal investigator in that field, what are the key aspects you will be looking at, okay? So that it gave me things that needs to be revised on that document. And then I said, okay, now you are that journal reviewer, a critical reviewer or something, so how do they see like in the past years what they are, how do they pick on the things, and then it reviews the document from that angle. So yeah, and it works.
The problem is that like the models work on token usage,
Yeah.
and the models themselves don't, like the LLMs themselves aren't always clear about how where those tokens are being used.
So yeah, you can just say that okay, use that kind of specific knowledge.
Yeah, to say,
So you
yeah.
can in the prompt you mention, for example, you are a reviewer and you use that kind of knowledge and that experience, blah blah blah, and you profile of a reviewer, and then you're gonna analyze from that perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I guess that's it. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Sorry, can I do a cringe mommy moment? Can
Yeah.
you stand here and take a
Definitely.
stand here and we'll take you with everybody?
Let me put my hair
Shall we
down.
start?
1 second, I've got my hair up.
No, you're blocking.
Should we stand up?
We can
Yeah,
all